Namaste, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to Namaste Today in the Zodiac Weather. My name is Witecki. I am the sensei to Sirius joy, here to stand in my heart and walk in the light. Such a pleasure to be by your side today. I'm love casting live in 5 dimensions on the beautiful Temple of Gaia on Thursday, January 15th, 2015. And today, it's going to be a spiritual day as Step 25 rules the day. Step 25 is when we have our psychic affirmations, where we, through dreams, through symbolism, through occurrences, spirit shows us in another dimension how things are going. And this is important because, honestly, I think we come down into this reality. And so I think we limit our view. And so no matter what you believe in spiritually, even, quantum mechanics now says that there are other dimensions. And so today is where we step into a different dimension so that we can assess the dimension we're in. Now, this is never more so important than when we're in the sun in Capricorn, because the human race this time of year makes decisions and policies where there's no turning back, the kind of the heavy policies, at least usually not for a fiscal year, no turning back. And so these are important decisions that we end up sticking to. Plus, if you've watched my show, Namaste Today, you've heard that many people are jumping ship. They're moving to a new mountain, a new way of thinking, a new way of making decisions. Offline, I've been counseling a lot of people privately who are breaking up. So many people breaking up right now. And interestingly enough, a lot of people coming into each other's view right now. That is because we are all upon switching a mountain. And today is the most psychic day before this decision and commitment happens, at least this next annual commitment. Today is the last day to kind of check in with our higher self and see if what we are doing makes sense. Psychic sense. So before we log into our psychic awareness, let's first tame our brain, shall we? With the phrase of the day. I am mindful of the peace I feel within me. And that's what you have to do. You have to find that peace. I am mindful of the peace I feel within me. Now, the peace is super important because, in essence, that is step 7. It comes in as peace. And every psychic information, every piece of psychic information has a feeling to it. I'm learning that it's all read through our feelings. Our feelings lead to a thought. Our feelings lead to an image. Our feelings lead to our feelings lead to. So how do we get to the part of our feelings that lead to the feelings that lead to the information that Jack built, right? I am mindful of the peace within me. Turns out that beautiful, quiet peace that everyone knows what I'm talking about, that emotional peace is the window in which the deep psychic connections come. So today, we just want to be mindful of that peace within us. Keep our mind on that feeling. Listen to that feeling in important moments. Listen to that feeling when people are speaking to us. You'll feel that part of your peace fluctuate when someone is talking. You'll feel a flutter, a little flutter, if you're mindful of it. And that flutter is the psychic information, I believe, coming through the door. Now, there's another whole act of how to interpret that, and I'll talk about that in the Sensei Sunrise. But today, I am mindful of the peace within me, and so it is. I thought so. So today, the serious step of the day is Step 25, Capricorn, and the architecture of incarnation is actually quite simple. When our feelings come together with our thoughts, our psychic awareness opens up, which tells you a lot about the daily human condition, that quite often our feelings are one place and our thoughts are another place. Now, if there was a conspiracy to disconnect people from God, one easy way to do that would be to distract one of those pieces, right? To make people emotionally distracted this way or intellectually distracted that way. That's all you have to do to separate that 7 I sense connection to the other side. And I see a lot of what seems to be campaigns on the planet to disrupt people's emotion. Terrorism is a step 2 attack, right? And a step 5 attack was on Sony, information and connection in our brains and the what ifs and start thinking and all this. And you wonder, these are both from the same source, a source to disrupt. So today is a day where if you bring these together, you will find a strong power within you, because step 7 is a ruling state of awareness, and that means that the universe is looking to bring these two together, your feelings and your thoughts. This is why we want to be mindful of our feelings, in particular, mindful of our peaceful feelings. Now let's take a look at the color therapy and how it affects the day. You know, with my clients in readings, many clients are searching to get back to their heart. And I say this literally that in all my readings, that one of the ways to do it, to get back in touch with your heart, is to really be very aware of the basic primary things your heart loves. So what does your heart think of yellow? Do you like yellow? I mean, this is going back to your kindergartner inside of you, but that is your heart, your kindergartner inside of you. So what is your favorite color, by the way? And did something just answer? Or are you just now in class going, green, right? If you just answered really quick what your favorite color is, then your heart is online and it is participating right now. What's your favorite flavor? What's your favorite number? See, when you ask your favorite, you go straight to the heart. The inner child comes online, right? So I bring out the primary colors here too, because I want you to have a space where you're looking at the colors every day. And you're looking at the very simple clues of what the child likes and doesn't like, and is attracted to and isn't attracted to. And those simple clues of the colors that you find yourself brightened by in the day, making you happy or sad, they also go down to this consciousness shifting that is going on. So we're doing a lot of yellow work right now, which is our core, right? And our spiritual history and our potential future. It is that third chakra of yellow. So yellow is very powerful. And it's coming in both in the I think, right? And the I feel both. So we're really channeling a lot. This adds to a 7, which opens up our crown. So I've shown like a little diagram before, but basically when you pray, you're looking down at your yellow chakra and your purple is lighting up. You are opening up to listen. And when you listen to the peace, you will begin to feel more through that. And you will open up by listening to the peace. And someone was talking about, quieting the mind in meditation. And it's not that your mind is very busy. Very busy. What is it busy doing? Listening around. The mind is searching around and listening to all the feelings. And it's the mind that's stirring in there and seeing what's in there. And when you discover a feeling that's interesting, it's the mind that's chasing after that feeling. So the mind is very active, I think, in meditation. It's just focused on this 7th state, which comes in through an emotional vibration. So today, be sure to do a little breathing, some deep breath work, at least 3 breaths in the front and 3 breaths in the back of the yellow, and clear out any kind of emotional, spiritual plaque and residue. And the purple is more like, hey, I'm opening up to my spiritual destiny, and I'm clearing that out. Now let's take a look at the cosmic clocks and see what's happening with the planets. Okay. So we have, let's see, where do I want to start? I'm going to start with step 25. We're 25 days into the sun in Capricorn, which means we're 25 days into, let's say, our planning for the year, our mechanics of the year. And so today is the day where we get spiritual, where we're trying to get our feelings and thoughts on the same team. And this is leading up to some sort of a commitment that will happen over the weekend, where everyone on the planet will commit to an overall direction, period, right? Now, Mars is pushing up the pressure because Mars is in step 2 of Pisces. So Mars is our ego aggression energy, and it's putting energy on step 2, which means our ego is pounding on our emotional side right now, which is the opportunity to let go and let flow. So it's very important that it's okay and that there is no judgment in this place, and that you just let yourself float on down the raft, down the river. Just float down. Try not to react to anything. Stay totally chill. That Martian energy that is there to make you feel strong, but not necessarily to fight the old fight, and certainly to release from the old. Now what happens is, Neptune is our psychic awareness right there. It's at step 5. And so once you begin to clear and let go of the energies that the psychic awareness is looking at, or focused on, it can now get more of a peripheral of your life. So a lot of times clients are using their psychic awareness to constantly look over their shoulder to see if something bad is going to happen again, something that's already happened to their soul. So up until like age 30 to 40, they could be constantly using their psychic awareness to see if someone's betraying them. Is someone betraying them? Is someone betraying them? Is someone betraying them? That's the soul still wigging out. So with Mars moving over Neptune and Pisces, which is a purebred vibration, and everywhere and all the planets and everything the clock is at, I believe that a lot of us who have been using our psychic awareness to look over our shoulder are no longer going to do that, which means we literally just have to relax and go to that inner peace, right? Now the moon is aiding and embedding in this quest because it is in Scorpio, a very deep emotional vibration. So we are put in the right place to do some to the bone psychic soul searching, if you want to say, to the very edge of our feelings about something. We used to be afraid of this edge before Saturn went through Scorpio, and that was the hell of the last 2 years emotionally. So we're not afraid of the edge, and it's not an edge that's necessarily dangerous, but I would think that whatever it is that we meditate on today, we take it to the edge with the moon in Scorpio. And then there is Saturn, which is at step 2, also putting a ton of energy into our emotional field. In this case, the emotions around certain beliefs and what we once believed, because Saturn is the early degrees of Sagittarius. Until Saturn hits step 4, we are technically coming out of the closet, coming out of some sort of denial, coming out of some sort of belief structure that we've been on for 30 years that we said yes to in 1985 to 87, and we've been running since. So until we have come to realize where we have spy software and false code in our belief structure, we unfortunately are kind of up for some sort of surprise, right? And what Saturn at step 2 is, really we're searching for what doesn't feel right. Many of us will get to the conclusion of where we are under our own myth here at this step 2 in Sagittarius. We'll get to the conclusion of it because we'll search our feelings and we'll understand it. If we don't, well, by mid-February, Saturn will be step 4, and everyone will have a wake-up call. And I would think that the nation and the world will have some sort of big wake-up call, perhaps aliens finally landing when Saturn goes 4 degrees Sagittarius. So look out for that. Step it up. And then this is interesting. Now, these two have been kind of making out and hanging out for the last few days. Venus, she's now flirted ahead. She is at step 15. And that means that she's promoting peace, the giving and receiving of total peace, and peace in the real age of Aquarius peace. If you want to ask, when would the age of Aquarius begin to feel really peaceful? Anywhere around step 15, the age of Aquarius, whatever step 15 of an age is, probably about 700 years in, I don't know. But still, I would think. So there's a lot of peace promotion, and Mercury is on the line at step 14. That's purebred for our thoughts, but what it means is that 14 means that we're on the edge of reframing. So it's probably going to be about how we reframe peace, that things actually change in our life, that things actually slip, that we actually see the big picture. So we'll end up reframing our idea of peace. So in all of these planets today, it's a psychic day. And what we're trying to figure out is, are we on the right path? So let's start there and move on to Sensei Sunrise. Did you see that little island out there? My little boy inside was like, I want to go out there and swim and go to the island, hang out in that little island. So today the Sirius step of the day is step 25, and this is where emotions and thoughts come together. We are climbing up the architecture of incarnation here, almost at the top of our ladder. And to describe what happens next, today is the day where we intuit and get any type of psychic information. Tomorrow we commit, and the following day we act on it. And so when we come back, we'll be tested at step 29. When I come back after the weekend with these shows, we'll be tested at step 29 of the decision we're about to make and act on right now. So today, to just lay out some simple basics to help you log into yourself. Everyone is built psychic. No one is not. It's that you are confusing the information with other pieces of information inside of you. But I am certain everyone is psychic. Everyone is powerfully psychic. And why psychic? Well, because psychic is what our soul wants. Remember, the way we manifest is in 3 dimensions. It is Father, Son, Holy Spirit, mind, body, mind, spirit, body, right? It is the idea and then the thought, and then the actual embodiment of. Always these 3 dimensions that we are in. We get very caught up in the lowest dimension, this one. And in the Sun in Capricorn, this is when we're the most caught up, because it's our control issues on a material level. And if something feels very solid and unchangeable, it is Capricorn energy, right? So now more than ever, you want to get into that psychic sense and ask yourself, basically, for any truths that you need to know. So how does this work? Well, you connect to your feelings and that sense of peace, and then you are mindful of that peace. And then as soon as you're mindful of that peace and you're thinking about, this is nice, then 7 opens up. Now I can feel my 7 open. I can feel my crown open. I can feel it. You can probably feel it if you listen for it, right? Once it opens, then what you do is you ask yourself, like, hey, is this the right thing to do with this job? And as soon as you ask that question, feelings. Wah, wah. So what you do is you go into those feelings. You kind of energetically go, okay, give me some more of that feeling. Give me some more of that. And when it comes to you, if you pay attention to the feeling, you will begin to receive more information through the feeling. So for me, I receive images, and I receive sentences and conclusions, lots of conclusions, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And over time, you learn to just observe these observations and not necessarily, in this moment, put it all together. You won't forget any of it. It's kind of like the sense of a dream, in the sense that if you just watch and listen to the imagery, you're going to see all sorts of stuff fly by you, depending on the type of way you communicate to yourself. And one of the mistakes, let's say, people make is they let themselves conclude any information or add it up or let the brain get off the path of listening. So continue to listen if you do open up to greater information. Now, the one last little thing I'll point out in my tips of connecting to ourselves is that that when you listen to yourself, you accept and receive whatever it is you see with total love. All right? So it is like, okay, I accept and receive those images, I accept and receive whatever, and you just add love to it. Your emotional response is love. So you don't want to let the mind carry you off in any type of adding it up. And you don't want the feelings to run off the path of peace or feeling the love. And when you do those two, you'll find that you stay connected. And for some of my clients, that's actually what I was bringing up and got carried off there for a second. It's like once you connect in the day for just a few minutes, like 7 minutes, quite often the information comes a little bit later in your day, like when you're driving or something. But you'll find that when you are driving or whatever, you have in that moment slipped back into the 7 state. And information comes then. So a lot of people just need to calibrate, and then they'll find themselves slip in the 7 state. Okay, for some reason I just feel wordy, but it's a step 7 day. I'm foggy, man. We all will be. See you right after this with just a little bit more.
Live, love, be. Soul Garden.
Can't find love? That day is over. With just 8 numbers, we can reveal all your secrets to sex and love. We call it Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. Find out the secret to your heart at secretsofbirthdays.com.
And here we are at the Soulmart.me trading post. Soulmart.me is going to be a collectively run and operated little store. I just want a place where lightworkers can bring their products and services. I have some fun, exciting products and services made by other lightworkers and lightwalkers out there coming out into Soulmart.me this year. It's not going to be just me and Soulmart, but right now it is very much me. In fact, I've launched what I call the Sirius Joy Academy, which is to put together some serious steps on how to step in our joy. I mean, what are the simple steps to enlightenment? That is my work on earth, what I'm giving the people. Now, one of the tools is being able to read our own astrological chart. Not everybody has the time to learn this, but if you're interested in learning how to read your own progress chart, I will teach one class this year, January 18th, on how to read your own progress chart. I'm also teaching a class on reading relationship charts, and this is probably the biggest question people have when they get a reading, is they want to know what I think of the relationship and how the souls relate. Well, there is a way you can learn how to read it yourself, and it's fascinating too to see the trends in your own life. Now, if you'd like to start from home and not too sure if you're interested in learning more about astrology, well, I have a couple of classes online that are real easy and affordable. 1111. It's a magic number. I just throw it out there. Obviously, I'm not in it for the crazy big bucks. I'm in it for the healing. 1111. The art of reading people, and the So You Want to Be an Astrologer. Both of these classes will teach you the basics of how to open up and read a chart. But you can always book with a pro. Yours truly here will work with you for up to 90 minutes for just $99 this year. You'll get 2 readings for that, a 30 and a 60, or find out your ruling step number and a 15-minute step reading for just $39.95. All of these are available at the Soulmart.me trading post. Thank you ahead of time for taking a look-see. So now let's move on to today's gong. Now notice in this cool picture that it's foggy there beyond the path. And to me, that is where we all are, whether we realize it or not. And that brings us to the thing to keep ringing in your head today. Are you feeling or sensing any warnings? If not, then proceed. In essence, looking at the planets, that square between Saturn and Neptune, Mars, we're up for anything that's been hiding in those woods is going to jump out in the next 6 weeks. Anything that we've been fooling ourselves with, anything that we have been, not paying attention to, and this is even nationally and worldwide. Like, hello, aliens have been landing. I mean, we all know that wake-up call is happening at some point in our destiny. I hope, that we wake up. But, a lot of people who are brand spanking new at psychic awareness focus on trying to get imagery, trying to get the deep messages, trying to get, the answers you seek. But really, all you need is whether or not there's a warning. And warnings come in extremely strong. Like, you can't second-guess a warning. So if you don't feel a warning, then proceed. Because only a warning, I think, at this point is 100% from spirit, an absolute no, you could get hurt. Everything else, we're kind of up to, once this fog clears, there's a lot we're going to see that we didn't see at this stage. And so one area that psychic awareness always pays off is warning. Now, what does a warning feel like? You'll feel something wrong when you think about it. And this is the last little point I'll give you. Think of something bad that happened in your life, something that feels dark, something that has hurt or whatever, and feel that energy. It comes from a deep place too when you go back to that moment, and we certainly don't want to dwell there. But as far as when something bad is warning you, it'll be in that direction, inside of you, in the direction of that sort of feeling. But before you look for any warnings in the woods, let's first take a look at the moods of each of your brothers and sisters today. And we're going to help you get through your woods, clear your fog. Today, I'm actually going to be laying out a trine going on between the moon in Scorpio and Mars, Neptune. So I think we are feeling with the moon in Scorpio and releasing Mars, Neptune, and that's what your extra bonus of the day is. So let's start with the Scorpios, step 0. Cloudy but cool with the moon in their sign. Cloudy because Neptune's ruling the day. You are feeling and releasing heartaches and old failures. And you really do need to let go of the old failures. Scorpios definitely hold on to the old because they don't want to forget, right? But you can remember right? And not hold on to it. There's different ways. So let the old failures go. Really freaking forget that stuff. Leos, cloudy, nesting, and resting today, but feeling and releasing your insecurities and your old feelings at large, like just old feelings, that old feeling and this old feeling. Step 2 is the Cancer, sunny and childlike, or partly cloudy and childlike. You are feeling and releasing your self-confidence issues and projects that didn't work out. Something, mismanifestations. Step 3 is the Sagittarius, is cloudy, spiritual, introverted today, and you are feeling and releasing your emotional past and some of your deep-seated fears. Step 4 is the Aquarius, is sunny and professional today, but you are feeling and releasing insecurities at large and social anxieties in particular. So, it's speaking in public and in front of your friends, a combo sort of thing. Step 5, the Geminis, cloudy, I'd say detached today, but you are feeling and releasing career past issues and daily anxieties at large. So both of those combined. Step 6, the Libras, cloudy, probably busybodies today. In the background, feeling and releasing lifestyle hangups and insecurities at large. So just overall fears and particular ones you have in lifestyle. Step 7, the Pisces, cloudy and pensive today, but feeling and releasing old ego bruises and past ignorances. So these are kind of moments, when you remember a moment that you're ashamed of and you're just like, oh, that again. Well, if that comes up now, you just go, okay, we're not going to feel that anymore whenever that comes up. We're just going to let that go. We don't want to feel that anymore. Let it go. Step 8, the Capricorns, cloudy and social today. Feeling and releasing old attitudes and social blunders. Old attitudes is like, when you think about it, you still get in the fight like, oh, mofo, I'm going to tell you what. You know what? That motherfucker told that's the old attitude. So that comes up today. You're just like, we're not going there. Step 9, the Aries, cloudy and private today. Releasing literally fears, false evidence appearing real, and old trust betrayals, which is a hard one because Arises are soldiers at heart, so it's real hard to forgive and forget a loss. Tauruses, cloudy, chance of love relationship issues or marriage issues could be it too. Feeling and releasing old social rejections and poor relationships that didn't turn out and or both. And then the Virgos, the step 11s, cloudy and pensive today, but feeling and releasing old relationships, so old partnerships you're in, and the negative thoughts most likely tied to the old relationships. One could lead to the other today. No matter what happens, let it go and let it flow, Virgo. And now also move on to the Lightwalker Parade. What do I have following this video to help you on your day? Well, for starters, we're doing Be Nice Prime Health segments, fast foods that cause slow deaths. And this is kind of funny, but really not funny, which is Wendy's chili. You're like, Wendy's chili. Really? Yuck, suddenly, but you don't want to hear what's in Wendy's chili. And Modern Mommies taped yesterday. They had we went off on a huge philosophical debate about where things are going with the New York police and this country. And it's really from the ladies' perspective and the mother's perspective. So it's worth the watch. If you're at home, these ladies do a great job. So proud of them. If you're on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. It helps us with our YouTube relationship. And on Facebook, if you navigate to soulgarden.me, you'll be taken straight to our Facebook page where you can like us and jump on our email list, and I'll send you a good morning email each day. But don't forget, the mothership of light, soulgarden.tv, turns 9, and we have all of our content up as well as super blogs and content and connections. Come on down. Tell your friends and family. I thank you ahead of time. And lastly, it's time for our rock and roll gospel. And today I just decided I need to pick a song for the vibration of the song. I don't know what their signs are. It's because my soul was calling to it. You might have guessed it already, Modest Mouse, one of my favorite bands through the days. And their song, Float On. This is a day where you just want to let it all float on, right? If you don't know how to let it all float on, listen to these guys. They're pretty chill, and it comes from the heart. You can really feel their work here. So, namaste. Listen to yourself today. Ask the important questions, and I'll see you tomorrow for your Friday episode. Remember, I love you, and live, love, be.
This is just so ironic.